What's cracking, guys? Bruce Mattson here, your host show of Metric Scout Fantasy Football, and a lot of news happened today. A lot of news impacting Dynasty gamers. The big one was the Russell Wilson trade. He is now going to be a Denver Bronco. As we all know, this story has been beaten to death, so I want to make this quick. First off, the value of all the skilled players for the Broncos are on the rise. You're talking Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton, Albert O, Javonte Williams, KJ Hamler, Tim Patrick. They're expecting, or everybody, or the market is expecting this team to be fueled by the passing game with Russell Wilson. How much will he cook? How will this evolve? We don't really know, but the efficiency should increase. It has to compared to what we saw last year. However, when we look at these targets, we got Courtland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. They should be the main targets in the passing offense. And then you got Albert O stepping in because Noah Fant was part of the deal and got traded to Seattle. Albert O is projected to be the main tight end. Let's see how the targets funnel to him. He is a high-end athletic prospect. Prior to this trade, his trade value was pretty low, and now it went through the roof. I don't know if he's considered a sell or if you want to sell him. Test him out on the block if you want. See if something interesting come back at you. However, his value has seen a significant increase. Javonte Williams, how will this work? Is Russell Wilson going to want to hand the ball off 30 times a game anymore? Or is this a situation where they're going to say a lot of sweet nothings to Russell Wilson to say, hey, we're going to let you sling the rock. We're going to let you test that arm out. We're going to let you cook. We're going to let you use these ingredients and let you make all kinds of meals for us. And maybe this helps Javonte Williams. Maybe it hurts him. Maybe they bring back Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon's back. They want that veteran, and they would use that 1-2 punch again. It's going to be interesting. It's either going to really fuel Williams or be a little bit less than expected. I don't expect him to be a dud at all. He is very efficient. I don't know if he'll reach his dynasty value, but I think he's still a good prospect, especially when you consider the great running back reset that we're going to be getting here in the league. So a younger running back that we have here that shows that he can be productive when given the opportunity is something you want to hold on to, and if not, buy if there are dips ever. But I like Javonte Williams still. I'm not really going against him, but again, everything you got to question here. KJ Hamler, deep threat, speed, kind of got some Tyler Lockett in him. Could he develop with Russell Wilson? Could he be a legit buy? If the buy period for him is almost over, we're seeing an increase in his value as well. People are talking him up. We're seeing some people reach on him in some underdog best ball drafts just for 2022. So I don't know if we're going to be able to even buy him at an appropriate price in Dynasty. I imagine whoever's rostering him is going to want to hold him for a bit just to see if Russ wants to use him as one of his main ingredients. Tim Patrick too. Team re-signed him. Look for him to get some usage as well. Will it be fantasy relevant with all these targets, with all these wide receivers? It's hard to tell. It's hard to say. I'm not projecting it, but he may be a guy you want at the end of your bench just in case this team slings it a lot. I don't know what this team's going to look like, but it's going to look more efficient at least. I imagine they're going to talk to Wilson. Wilson's going to want to sling the rock, and this team is probably going to oblige to that. I don't think this is going to hurt the run game. I think Williams, if anything, might get more efficient looks, and maybe a little bit more red zone opportunities if this team can hum, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Looking at Seattle, this is where things are a little bit dicey. It's a little hard to read. Everything with the Broncos, everything's been said a million times by everybody else. But Seattle, this is where things are really dicey. How are we going to project this team for the long haul? Denver, we can forecast this all day. Looks pretty simple. Seattle, though, they look like they're on pace. Maybe to be a train wreck. Maybe they can turn this around. But it looks like they're retooling, rebuilding, however you want to say it. They're looking like they're making some moves at least. Tyler Lockett's on the block. Who is going to pay for him? Where is he going to go? Is he going to be a Seahawk next year? Who knows? He's an older wide receiver and can get downfield. If he goes to the right situation, we may see a value increase. If the manager in your league is concerned about Tyler Lockett, you may want to put out an offer. Maybe you can get him for super cheap. Considering that Russell Wilson's gone, we don't know who his quarterback's going to be. We don't know if he's going to be stuck in Seattle. And this could be the time to buy him. I'm not expecting big things. I don't know if this is going to lead him to be fantasy relevant ever again. I know he's an older wide receiver. I know his dynasty value is going to be decreasing by the year. And with new wide receivers coming into the fold, his value is going to continue to be diluted. However, maybe he could be a cheap asset that you could get to just be worked in and out of your lineups during the season, which could help you out. That's one thing you can look at Tyler Lockett for. I would not look at him as a long-term asset. DK Metcalf is the major question. And the major question is, we don't know how to value him right now. Drew Lock got traded to Seattle. He could be their quarterback. Seattle could draft a quarterback. They could bring in another quarterback. The quarterback position is something we got to wait and see to see what they do. I imagine we're going to see him take a decent hit in value. I'm going to see people fading him a little bit. And if you like DK Metcalf, you might be able to buy him at a reduced price point. I also see a lot of people talking about him on Twitter as a hold. I don't know what I feel about him. I feel like if I got him on some rosters, I may be just holding him to see what I got. I know I got some years left of him. He's a younger wide receiver. I'm going to have him for a few more years, some production, have him in my lineups for a bit so I can attach to that. And it really just depends on what offers I get. I don't want to sell too low. I don't know if this team's going to rebound back with another quarterback that just fuels them better. Maybe that quarterback just has a better connection with Metcalf, or maybe it's Locke, and maybe Locke just funnels to Metcalf. What was it? In 2019, Locke just funneled to Cortland Sutton when Sutton was healthy before he had those knee issues. Maybe we can get that situation. Just because the efficiency's not there at the quarterback position doesn't mean he can't get funneled targets. It doesn't mean his situation could get worse from a fantasy sense, but it's looking like it's getting worse. Again, really test the market here. We got value changes. You may want to put in offers, put guys on the block here who has experienced a decent change in value just to see what you get. Maybe you get an offer for DK Metcalf that you want. Maybe you can package him up for a running back. Maybe you package him up with some picks and something, and maybe you get Javonte Williams, whatever. But there is a change of value here, and you may want to look into that in your leagues. The next player I want to talk about is Noah Fant going to Seattle. Again, mystery box now. But I like him because he's a hyper-athletic tight end prospect, and his dynasty value has taken a hit. I am willing to buy him at that reduced price point just in case he does get a quarterback. Just in case Tyler Lockett's gone and he's the wide receiver 2 on the team. He's second line in targets or something like that. With him being a former first-round pick, with him being a high-end athletic prospect, there's a chance he could hit on it still. With this team potentially being behind in games, Fant may be getting some garbage time work. He may be getting some of those garbage time targets, and maybe that can allow us to get some value out of him, especially if we're getting him later in drafts now. Prior, he was going like around the 6th, 7th roundish in startup drafts. What if he's fallen double digits, 10, 11, 9, 10, somewhere around there? That price point makes him more attainable, and the risk less riskier because you're not paying as much for him. And if he gets into the quarterback down the line, maybe they decide to lose out with Drew Lock. Next thing you know, they got CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. Maybe we see them get better over the long haul. But again, just kick the tires on these players, whether you have them on your team and you just want to see what they get you on the market, or maybe you can buy some of these players at a reduced cost off the Seahawks. The players off the Broncos obviously increased in price, increased in value. If you liked any of them, you should have targeted them early. Albert O was the hard one to predict. Noah Fant being in the trade, you couldn't have predicted that. However, the quarterback position, we knew Denver was looking to make an upgrade. Once Rodgers was gone, they went with Wilson. We knew Rodgers was kind of in the fold, kind of not. We were at least wishing for that. Russell Wilson coming over to Denver today was big news. However, we were speculating they would at least maybe draft somebody. Get somebody in there. I know after the Rodgers news, a lot of people were sad that they didn't draft Justin Fields, that they passed on Mac Jones, but now they got Russell Wilson, which is a good upgrade, a good veteran, a good solid player that can help fuel the offense, really dish the targets around. I'm excited to see what Denver does this year. If you own any of these players or have them in Dynasty, you may want to look and see if you can sell them at a good price tag. A lot of these players increased in price, or you want to hold them. It's however you want to do it. A lot of times you want to test it just to see, but you may want to just hold them because you may not get the offer you want anyways. One more thing I want to talk about, this quarterback class that's coming in, these rookies. This quarterback class does not look near as good in my eyes now. They don't have this glorious landing spot in Denver for them to go to. We're not going to get this rookie quarterback who's going to have Sutton, Judy, Noah Fant to toss the rock to, Javonte Williams to hand it off to, this Broncos team that's rebuilding, that has a good offense intact for you to insert this rookie quarterback. This is one of the premier landing spots. If Russell Wilson went there, now these quarterbacks, they're going to have to be dispersed with other teams, and this one landing spot that was glorious, that was upper echelon, has now been filled by old Russ, and there's nothing we can do about it. This quarterback class took a hit today. I don't see many people talking about that, but the fact that a rookie quarterback does not have the chance to be inserted in an offense that's already stacked with talent at the skilled positions is a big travesty, and it is what it is. However, I didn't like this quarterback class that much anyways, so it doesn't bother me one bit. Russ going to Denver is very interesting considering who he's got to throw the ball to. But that's all I got for you today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Every subscription matters. Fuels me to keep putting out this Dynasty fantasy football content. Fuels me to keep helping you with them rookie drafts, looking at tape, grinding the metrics, and everything else. Again, I want to thank you, and I'll catch you next time.